Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy, the channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities, work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as I go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com, where I dive deeper into all of these sectors, looking for potential investment opportunities and sharing those opportunities with everyone in the community. I do that through midweek updates, and we do have a midweek update coming up. I also do that through Q&A sessions on the weekend. Special the coupon code. If you guys want some savings, you can sign up to the monthly or yearly membership, gaining savings with that special coupon code. Description link below for the savings. All right, let's dive in and see what's going on today. We got the DXY, and again, there's no real, I've been in the camp that we're gonna see a stronger dollar ever since I saw this falling wedge. Ever since there, then it's, well, we're going to have to play out, do a double bottom. I didn't know it was going to do a double bottom and that stuff, but I'm in the camp that this is going to go higher. And here we are going higher in the dollar, 0.4%, pretty big candlestick today. So we're working our way up. We're making higher lows, higher highs. That's what this is here as we go. So stronger dollar. Generally, that works its way up with stronger yields. Today, we are seeing a little bit weaker yields. The 2 years down just a little bit, but this still looks good to go higher. I'm not in the camp that this is falling. I know we're low right now, and I know we're against support here. But this setup right here, unless it's forced lower by some external object called the cent or the Federal Reserve, this looks like it wants to go up because this is a flag pattern of a continuation pattern from this candlestick here. So that still looks okay to go higher. The 10-year getting some selling pressure. We created 2 days to make 1 day go down, and this was a reversal candlestick at support. We'll see if support holds here. I still think there's a chance that we could go higher. I know this is taking a little bit of time to load. So there's your support there, and we'll see if that support line holds. We do have short-term bullishness a little bit with this setup there. Reversal bullish piercing candlestick with 2 down days within it. Again, it's a little bit more even versus 2 really small candlesticks above support, but we'll see if this holds. And then the 30-year yield down a little bit more. This one's got a little bit more runway to head lower before gaining more support down here. So that one could head a little bit lower before getting some support from previous trading areas. TLT heading a little bit higher. It's not a strong candlestick or anything. I know some people are getting in the camp that we're going to move higher on bond prices, lower on yields. If a slowdown in the market materializes, it definitely could happen. We are at resistance here, coming up at some point around the $94 area on TLT. So we'll see if we gain resistance there and what happens. The 2 and the 10 is going up. So the yield curve is inverting, not uninverting. And we're also breaking through a trend line there, moving higher, not lower. So kind of a confusing setup because when we see recessions, and if this is a recessionary type thing, generally we see people run into the 2-year and this drops pretty drastically. Like here, here, and here, and here. Those are your signs, right? So I'm watching this and I'm like, all right, are we going to get this? Is it going to come? Why are we going up? Why are we breaking upward here? Now I know yields were down a little bit today, but the 10-year fell more than the 2-year, which means the yield curve inverts. So that's where we're at. And we're in a rectangle stable location is what we'll call it. TYX TNX ratio is flat, so we're getting a little bit of a headwind in gold, a little bit from the dollar, but gold got sold off pretty hard today. You can see that big selling pressure move today. Now, is this going to be the start of a bigger consolidation? It could be. Usually at the beginning of these consolidations, you get to see some strong selling pressure like the day-to-day, or you get a big wick at the top where you get a big wick up there. It could be though. And we saw something very similar going back to August of 2020 where things started to go pretty vertical here. You can see it going vertical. We could see over here that we got a bearish engulfing candlestick with some pretty strong selling pressure. There's the bearish engulfing and then the strong selling pressure. You see that set up in that big circle there? And then we had weaker bounce and then we consolidated for a while. Is it possible that we get a similar consolidation? This is the consolidation that I was referring to here. Is it possible that we get a similar consolidation starting to form? Yes, and I don't know with 100% certainty if that's going to follow through, but we do have a bearish engulfing here and some follow through here. Today was a pretty strong selling pressure day. Now, what we want to see is what does the bounce look like? And how does it roll over? Do we continue to get selling pressure? That I don't know what it looks like. But this could be the start. It could. I'm not saying it is. It could be the start of money, rather than money anticipating money printing. Maybe the printing has occurred and it's starting to get through the system. So we'll see. We'll see if this consolidates sideways or not, however it looks, and how long it is. I don't know, but these are reversal candlesticks. Silver also getting kicked in the nutsack, down 7% today. Now, those are two pretty strong candlesticks there. So we had an inverted bloody nose, which continued lower today. We were cruising higher. I mean, this is a big move. So we could get a consolidation here for a little bit. We could pull back to support maybe in the lower to mid 40s. That is a possibility. Maybe around $42-ish or something like that is a possibility. See that big wick at the top created on the monthly candlestick? So maybe we do, maybe we don't. I know that doesn't help people. It's like, well, Andy, I need an opinion. I need a huge opinion right here about short-term market movements. And if people are going to buy or sell silver in the short term, I need to know if other people are going to buy or sell silver in the short term. Well, to me, if I were to make an answer or a guess here, looks like a pullback to me. That's what it looks like. We've got platinum down 7%. That's also got the two big things. Now, here's something that's kind of weird. Remember in the morning updates, I always talk about people, tweets talking about selling gold and buying Bitcoin. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting how this lines up with all of that marketing that we were seeing on Twitter. Is this a planned hit? Is there some sort of, I don't know, options contracts or something like that they need to push the price down? I'm not sure. But we've got a consolidation pullback here going on. It's hitting all of the metals, even palladium's getting hit the past few days. And we've been pulling back in the short term with a pretty good amount of selling pressure. And it could continue into here the near future as the selling pressure is strong and it is ending towards the lows. XEU to gold ratio also getting kicked in the nutsack pretty hard. We had this rising wedge. It broke out to the downside and it has not reversed yet. So it still looks a little bit nasty in the short term. We are still at ridiculously low levels where gold and silver mining companies are cheap to gold. And the opportunity is still there on the long term. Short term, though, we are getting selling pressure and getting a little bit of a nut check. GDX down 9.42%. We didn't get any reversal candlesticks here. Isn't that interesting? We just had a gap lower from its close and then selling pressure. Whenever you go vertical, so whenever you get these vertical moves like this, you are susceptible to sharp or correct pullback in the market. And that's why on the website, we've been, I haven't been too bullish on talking about different setups in gold and silver. We've been looking at other sectors to deploy money here recently. So it looks like we're getting some strong selling pressure. We could start a consolidation or pullback, and that is extending across all of the sectors. That's GDX, GDXJ. There's the strong selling pressure, and then SILJ. Now we could get a bounce back, and we could roll over and fill gaps and stuff like that. So that is possible because all these did large gap downs today, and we could start filling gaps here. See that gap where we go back up, and then we roll back over again. That is a possibility. What you generally get when you get, if we back out, like on SILJ here, you have this big structure. I called it a launching pad. It is a launching pad. So we launched out of it. This is the launch out of the launching pad. It's right there. Usually when you break out of a structure, you get a retest move and it comes on back like this. So I think that's probably what's going to occur, is that we launched out of the pad and that we could get a consolidation pullback is a good possibility. Now, what I'd like to watch here is if this pulls back and it takes some time, watch what oil does, because we could see oil take off, and that might be a similar rotation to like late 2020s. So we'll see if that occurs in crude oil. Crude oil is up today, 0.86%. Is this a bottom? It could be. We need to see follow through. We need to see a bottom get in here. There is a bullish engulfing. It's not the strongest I've ever seen, but it technically is. We've got buying pressure with the wicks at the bottom, and we'll see if something can be put together here or not. Just because it doesn't put it together here immediately, or even if we get a false breakdown where we head lower before going higher, those are all possible. I'm not claiming I know the short term. We're looking to see if buyers step in and create some sort of positive candlestick. We're waiting for that. TTF gas is throwing in a big bullish engulfing today. So that looks pretty good. And that is generally a bottoming pattern to go higher. So that's looking pretty solid today for TTF gas. And I would be bullish on natural gas here. It looks good, and we're coming into winter. So it's just starting to firm up a little bit. It looks good. And then natural gas in America, here it is firming up. I think it looks really good. So this is your double bottom, your breakout. This is your retest and a falling wedge. And I think we're gonna go for it. I think we're gonna go higher. Now this is an opportunity. I've talked about some companies on the website to take advantage of this. I bet you, I'm willing to bet that we're probably gonna try to get out of here. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, we're still down a little bit on XOP. We're still above support. We'll see if this holds. We'll see if this holds. And we've had some nasty selling pressure here, and we need to get some big green candlesticks to show up. OIH, though, showing up with a 1.2% positive day, and we're back to that resistance area. We'll see if we can punch through it or not. Maybe it's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder bottoming pattern. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if we can punch through or not. Newcastle coal futures are down a little bit today, down 0.84%, but I still think we're going to look decent here. Why? Because of TTF gas. I think this could be a potential double bottom, perhaps. So let's see what happens. It's not a lot of selling pressure. We'll see if the buyers step in here over the next week or two. Sprout Physical Uranium Trust down 1%, but we did get some buying pressure. There's a wick here. It's not totally lost. We're getting smashed and getting closing prices towards the lows there. So we're getting some selling pressure. We're above this structure, which is still bullish, to go higher with time. Uranium futures pricing is heading back a little bit. Still bullish, though. It's not a ton of selling pressure. So I would remain bullish, and there's our lows coming on up, and we'll see where the low is created, where it's at. URA getting a little bit more selling pressure, and we're seeing some stronger selling pressure here. So we are getting a pullback consolidation in the short term here. And whenever you go vertical here, guys, you go vertical, you're susceptible to getting some strong market pullback. So that's when you don't want to chase. You buy low, you buy tight, you don't be chasing things. Uranium also getting some selling pressure. We do have a little wick at the bottom, not a huge bullish candlestick, but and we're coming back to some support. So you've got support here. We can just put a rectangle in here. So we've got support in this general region. Let's just call it like through there. So that was the resistance zone. We're coming back through into that support zone. So we want to see the candlesticks get a little bit smaller and kind of tighten up here. Not big, long, big candlesticks like this. So usually what happens in a reversal, you get bigger candlesticks in the beginning because your sellers are way more overpowering than the buyers. So that comes down and then they start to equal each other and then the wicks start to get smaller and smaller. And then usually maybe you get a wick at the bottom like that. So the opening and closing prices close up, they get tight, and then you get little wicks at the bottom. URNJ also seeing that. That's a little bit more selling pressure there. These are all kind of popping out, peeking their head out into all-time highs and then coming back into support there. Nickel flat, nothing to report there, and that's been just chopping sideways with some volatility there. Copper also pulled back 1.7%. It's still sitting on top of a lot of support, not a ton of selling pressure. It is a bearish engulfing candlestick, but bearish engulfing candlesticks, they're more powerful when you're going up and then you get one here and then come back down. I don't think they're as powerful if you're chopping sideways like this. So you're chopping sideways and it's like the buyers are trying to equal the sellers and you can have a more selling pressure down day. But this isn't a huge, big upward move. So we're sitting on top of support. There's all your support all through here. I wouldn't look at it as super bearish yet. I'd remain open. COPX down 5%. It's selling off with a lot of the commodities today. We are at the last resistance area, and perhaps we do a loop or something. A loop, and that would be if we were to back out. Maybe this is going to be like a cup and handle where we came up, we did a big gigantic cup, and then we're going to create maybe a handle or something. Or the handle could look something like this. I don't know what it looked like perfectly, but maybe that's the case, maybe not. We're in an uptrend move, so I'm just giving you guys options. When you get to resistance, sometimes they like to loop or create a handle. Lithium down a little bit, only 0.7%. It's holding on. Some sort of consolidation going on. REMX down 4%, but this has been on a tear, guys. Whenever you start to go vertical, sometimes you're susceptible to a pullback or consolidation, whatever it creates. So we are getting some selling pressure here. You can see the 3 past week candlesticks that are down a little bit. Things don't go straight up. They consolidate sometimes, and that's what we're doing. Iron ore sideways. Iron ore looks good. I think this looks really good. Little consolidation there and a falling wedge. Those generally break higher. All of the trading in iron ore that I see here is pretty bullish. We've got a squeeze here into the corner. We've got a break higher with big buying pressure candlesticks and small selling pressure candlesticks, and everything that I see is falling wedge or consolidations. And that's bullish. Aluminum also looks pretty bullish. We're above the 2650, 2700 level. So a lot of resistance is through here. We're sitting above that. So we took our efforts, popped up above it, and we have a little bit of a consolidation on top. So that still looks good to try to work its way on up. Baltic Dry Index working its way on up real slowly, but still looks good. Emerging markets is down a little bit. We had that stronger dollar, but this has been cruising higher. It looks okay, We still do have some resistance up here. So again, I don't know what will happen in the short term. This is a completely bullish long-term picture. I think we will get out of this and use this as a launching pad. Uh, but we haven't gotten out of it yet. So there could be a little loop, a little consolidation, a little pause there, whatever it looks like. Moo down 1%. It's still chopping the right hand of the inverted shoulder, head, shoulder. So we're still working on that at this time. KRE down up 0.15. That looks bearish though, because whenever you pop out of a pattern like that with strong selling pressure, and then you get this weak bounce, this could roll over. So we could see a rollover here. XHB looking strong as heck though. Now here's the thing: if we do get a recession or a slowdown in the market, whatever you want to say, what are they going to do? They're going to lower interest rates, right? And if rates go down, the 10-year and the 2-year and stuff, home builders, if you're in a strong market, it's going to go up. And what is it doing? It's going up. So buyers are coming in, they're buying up home builders, probably front running lower mortgage rates. So that looks good. Russell's down 0.5. That's just been chopping around here in that circle there. We've got the S&P 500. That's still chopping around. There could still be a downward spike because you have this, and we've been just dangling here, and we haven't really clearly got out of this. It could spike lower and pop the VIX, and maybe this is a top. But again, we don't have that follow through yet. NASDAQ also in a very similar situation. I'm not stating it will happen because this is tariff news. If something happens with tariffs, I don't know. Something could happen. We'll see. DJT working higher. That looks good. Now that doesn't look too bearish here. And transportation average index moving up is not a recessionary movement. So that still looks good. XLI, the industrials also moving higher. Doesn't look too bad. Above some of this resistance. And again, we're sitting on top of a big launch pad here, this thing. So it's looking pretty good to continue higher. Bitcoin down a little bit, but again, we are sitting on top of support. That is bullish. Ethereum down 0.77%, but again, we're right at support. We're sitting on top of it, and it still looks good. I don't like the steepness of that triangle, but I don't know how legit it is, but it's squeezing up on top of support. Buyers are equaling the sellers is what that means. Coming down to the VIX. The VIX is down. Plunge protection team getting on top of it. We don't want the volatility crashing the markets here, so it is coming on down, and volatility is under control and still in the box. We dipped out of the box a little bit, but they brought it back in real quick. So that's what I've got for today, guys. So give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like, especially with the coupon code. We do have a Q&A session coming up this weekend. I think it's a Saturday, 7 a.m. Mountain Time Q&A session. Also releasing a midweek update later tonight, early tomorrow morning, where you can see my opinions and what I'm seeing in the markets for individual companies. All right, guys, that's all I've got. See ya.